A very good morning to all the viewers of Q News English with me, Vijay Rana, from our studios out here in Telangana, along with Deepak. So let's have a quick review of the headlines today of top three newspapers, starting with the Hindu. And trees in Corbett fell prey to greedy nexus, says Supreme Court. And the Tiger Reserve, Jim Corbett, is the one they are talking about. And there were trees that were being cut. So that is what is being cited out there by the Supreme Court. And what they have to say is the Supreme Court on Wednesday condemned the illegal felling of over 6,000 trees. So imagine 6,000, how can 6,000 trees just fall? Felling of over 6,000 trees for, cutting of over, felling means that. So this is that. It's not about trees falling, but it's about felling. So 6,000 trees were cut to construct buildings, ostensibly for ecotourism at the Jim Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand, as the classic case of nexus between politicians and officials working to ransack the environment for short-term commercial ends. Now, this just for money, they wanted to build these houses, and they cut 6,000 trees of Jim Corbett National Park. So that's really tragic. And out of like the tigers, it's a tiger reserve, and if you cut or if you eradicate the vegetation out there, how will these tigers survive? The present case depicts a sorry state of affairs of human greed, devastating one of the most celebrated abodes of tigers, that is the Corbett Tiger Reserve. Yes, indeed. And a three-judge bench headed by Justice B.R. Gavi observed. The court also directed the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to form a specialized committee to study the recommended whether tiger safaris should be permitted to buffer areas of a tiger reserve. So tiger safari, if you go there is a trip, they'll take you to a tiger safari. And their machans are also built so that you can see the tigers, and it's indeed, it's really nice to be there during the night. It's a risk as well, but then should that be there? And in order to have a look at the tigers, have a close look at the tigers, or stay close to them in the proximity where they stay, should we actually be allowing that? That's what is being judged now. So they will a committee has been formed, and they will be looking into it whether this should be done or not. And on the left hand side, we have a man from Hyderabad who was killed in the war between Russia and Ukraine. This man was he was sent to Russia by his travel agent, and he was told that he will be given a job there, but then he was inducted into the army, and he was made to fight against Ukrainians, and nobody knows when he passed away. But then Muhammad Asfan, AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi was in touch with his brother, and he informed the media that the man has been killed in Russia while fighting for Russia. And there was also a road accident that happened, and newlywed along with 5 people died, a very tragic one. Both the news agents fall promises. So Mr. Imran, Afshan's elder brother, previously recollected that the victim had traveled to Moscow via Chennai and Sharjah. A travel agent identified through his YouTube channel Baba Vlogs had assured him that his work would not involve fighting on the front lines. But then once he went there in search of a better livelihood, as many of the Indian youth go, and he found himself fighting on the front lines against Ukraine. The victim is survived by his wife and 2 children. And moving on, Sanatana Row, High Court calls remarks divisive. Statement by Udaynidhi and A. Raja were contrary to constitutional principles, says judge. The Madras High Court on Wednesday observed that the statements made against Sanatan Dharma last year by Tamil Nadu Youth Welfare and Sports Development Minister Udaynidhi Stalin and Nilgiri's MP A. Raja were perverse, divisive, contrary to constitutional principles and ideas and also tantamount to gross misinformation. However, the court's observation came even as it disposed of a batch of writ petition seeking the removal of the two Dravid Munitra Kadagam DMK legislators. Holding the demand was premature, as neither of the leaders has yet been convicted of any crime in regard to their statements. So they actually, they compared Sanatan Dharma with HIV/AIDS, and they said it needs to be eradicated. So that's what they did. And will the people of Tamil Nadu, are they still in favor of them? Is the big question. Will they actually vote for them? Because elections are around the corner. Will it have any impact? These kind of statements that they passed, and the case is now being, heard in the courts. Now, what impact? Will it have a positive impact? Will it give them publicity, or will it have a negative impact? Because a lot of Hindus reside, a lot of Sanatan Dharma, people who belong to Sanatan Dharma reside in Tamil Nadu as well. And while we are talking about Tamil Nadu, how can West Bengal be away from news? But this time it is not about Sandesh Kohli. Yes, indeed, we do have a news from Sandesh Kohli as well. But then right now, Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi is out there, and he is in an underwater metro. And that's how it looks like, people. That's the Hooghly River, and that's the underwater metro in Hooghly River. So tunneling through India's first underwater metro train, plying the Howrah Maiden Esplanade section of Kolkata's Metro East-West corridor was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday. The section was developed at the cost of 4,965 crores, says PTI. And what a fantastic view of this metro rail traveling through, the river. And India has something to say. Pakistan, Shahbaz Sharif formed the government yesterday, day before yesterday, and now India has they are looking for loans. Their economy is crumbling, and they are looking for loans as always. Yet another episode there being added, and they are looking at IMF this time to fund or to fuel their economy. And the biggest worry is they take loans on the pretext of helping the people or stabilizing their economy, but then they invest huge sums of money in terrorist activities, and that's what India has finally called out for. India says, we are okay if you give them loans, but please make sure that they do not divert loans to foot defense bills. India to IMF. Following the 2022 floods and extreme shocks, the economy shrank in 2022 and 23. Forex reserves collapsed. The IMF okayed a 3 billion standby arrangement that ends next month. India abstained from vote. In a loan review this January, India seeks stringent monitoring of IMF monies end use by Pakistan. Indeed, they do a lot of terrorist activities, and it is funded by the money that we are fine to help the common man of Pakistan, but the aid that they get, they spend it on the terrorist activities. That's not something that is acceptable. So that is what India has called for, and taking a tough stance, India has batted for stringent monitoring of any emergency funds provided by the IMF to its financially beleaguered neighbor Pakistan, stressing that such funds must not be redeployed towards defense bills or repayment of loans from other countries. India's position was put across to the IMF Executive Board by its nominee Executive Director Krishnamurthy Subramanian during the recent review of ongoing 3 billion short-term standby agreement. So ideally they should not be getting it, but then yes, if there are natural calamities then and the country is at the verge of collapse, then it can be looked at, but then how it is being put to use is a very important question. And Congress will win 14 out of 17 Lok Sabha seats in Telangana, asserts Revant Reddy. So we saw Revant Reddy in news yesterday and day before yesterday shaking hands with Pradhan Mantri or Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this is the man, he's the man for the job out there. He does not hesitate to mingle with the opposition party as well, if it serves the purpose and the purpose he has is to serve the people. That's what it looks like prima facie. So I can actually see he's heading in the right direction. He does not hold any grudges against anybody and has a very professional view of the entire state of affairs. And accusing both the BRS and Bharatiya Janata Party of attempting to topple his government, Chief Minister A. Revanth Reddy has warned them that he would teach them a befitting lesson if they continue to sabotage their plans. Mr. Revanth Reddy also appealed to the people of erstwhile individual Mehboob Nagar district to ensure the victory of Congress candidates from Mehboob Nagar and Nagar Kurnool Lok Sabha constituencies. And also, further, while we are talking about Telangana, there will also be a news of upcoming drought. All the water reservoirs, the resources have dried out. And Revanth Reddy, you will hear that news also in one of the other newspapers. So he's asking for support, and he says we will be standing by the farmers. Addressing a massive public meeting titled Palamuru Praja Divana at Mehboob Nagar on Wednesday, Mr. Revanth Reddy exuded confidence that the Congress would win 14 out of 17 MP seats in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. He asserted that the preliminary election would serve as a referendum for his government, which would have completed 3 months in power by then. The Congress party has already announced Challa Vamshi Chand Reddy, former MLA from Kalva Kurti, as the MP candidate for Mehboob Nagar seat. The Congress government has already launched 5 guarantees, he said, adding that Indramma housing scheme would be launched on March 11th. So another good news coming in for the people of Telangana. The housing scheme is also being implemented from March 11th. Mr. Revanth Reddy promised to ensure that every single acre of farmland in the district is irrigated by completing the Palamuru Rangareddy lift irrigation scheme and other pending irrigation projects. By the way, Palamuru Rangareddy lift irrigation scheme was a part of KLIP, that's Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project on the whole. So Mr. Revanth Reddy, an MLA from Kodangal, thanked the people of districts for unstinting support since 2006, which he said helped him ascend to Chief Minister's post. The Chief Minister sought to play down the criticism directed his way over his recent meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If we do not appraise the Prime Minister of our needs, it will be detrimental to the state, he said. I don't know who is opposing this. This is one of the best things that anybody, I expect Rahul Gandhi to do this rather than hugging the Prime Minister. It's better to put across your needs, your wants, your demands, and also to cross-question the changes that they are about to bring or the law. If there are any logical and relevant, shortcomings that you see, you should be highlighting those. And that's what he did precisely. He's the man for the job, and I really admire what he did. But he's being criticized for that. Surprisingly, the Chief Minister sought to play down the criticism directed his way. If we do not, I went through that. He said, adding he would continue to question the Modi government if states' pleas were not addressed. Deputy Damodar Raja Narasimha and Minister Komti Reddy Venkat Reddy and Jupalli Krishna Rao attended this meeting. And wow, that's Ram Mandir, Ayodhya ka. Transforming culture, spiritual hubs into economic powerhouse. What is it about? Is this the news or it's an advertisement? Okay, it's an advertisement by government of Andhra Pradesh. It looked like a news article to me. I started reading it, but yeah, it looks interesting. Uttar Pradesh, remarkable transformation. So it's about UP out there, people. Jai Shri Ram is the logo, and I'm sure this is the Ram Mandir that they are actually depicting. Uttar Pradesh, remarkable transformation spearheaded by CM Yogi's relentless crackdown on crime and corruption has earned the unshakable trust of investors, propelling Uttar Pradesh into a prime investment destination. It was already with cities like Noida. Noida also belongs to Uttar Pradesh. So there are a lot of corporates. I actually traveled to Noida a lot of times in order to meet different officials from different companies. I cannot name them as of now. So investments pouring in all sectors and job opportunities for lakhs of youth have effectively controlled migration to other states. In a concerted effort, the state government has prioritized the development of world-class infrastructure while also highlighting the cultural, spiritual and historical significance of its cities. The dual focus has not only enhanced the overall appeal of, so it's basically about what they did in Uttar Pradesh, and what a nice way to actually take it up, and they have done it very, very point wise. So somebody has a comment, investment, they are the businessmen. Sudhanshu Tiberwal, industrialist from Gorakhpur. From Prayagraj, we have Ajit Kumar Singh from Sitapur, and Muzaffarnagar, Pawan Kumar Goyal from Muzaffarnagar. And they have taken the entire page, but then what a brilliant way to actually advertise. I really appreciate this advertising, and while I do that, let's quickly move on to Indian Express also. So my admiration would not last long, because I have woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. So deal taking shape for BJD re-entry into NDA. So we saw yesterday BJP and BJD and BJP were actually, they were tying up. So let's say BJP may get more Lok Sabha seats in alliance. 15 years after their bitter breakup, the Biju Janata Dal and the BJP have almost stretched up the second innings for their alliance in Odisha. While the deal is being finalized at the top leadership levels, a formal announcement is yet to be made, but it's only a matter of time, sources said. And sham exam, and this is a school that is being depicted here. As we all know, the board exams are going on for the 10th class, and whereas it's happening in Haryana. It's a school in Haryana where people are climbing up. They're trying to pass the chits to the students who are writing the exams out there, and what a sham indeed it is. And Maha Alliance soar over BJP's seat share plan. After the intervention of Union Home Minister Amit Shah, the BJP-led Mahayuti in Maharashtra resolved its seat sharing dispute and tentatively decided on a 36:8:4 formula for upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Going by the formula, the BJP will contest from 36 out of total 48 seats in the state, while Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena and Ajit Pawar's NCP will enter the fray from 8 and 4 seats respectively. However, both allies of the BJP articulated their dissatisfaction. Highly placed sources said after addressing poll rallies in Akola, Jalgaon and Sambhaji Nagar, Shah flew to Mumbai on Tuesday night and held discussions with Chief Minister Shinde and Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. Shinde said he has 13 sitting Lok Sabha members who left Uddhav Thackeray and joined him. So he sought at least 13 seats. Ajit Pawar sought 9 seats, said the sources requesting anonymity. But Shah told them that multiple surveys reports were suggesting otherwise. There is a palpable public anger against these allies, and they have very little chance of emerging victorious. Now, a very well planned move out there by BJP, and I do not see these kind of things happening in the INDIA alliance. Yes, there are there are sheet sharing plans that are being executed in Congress as well, but then BJP is executing it flawlessly, and they are giving a reason. There is a survey that there are surveys that are being conducted as the basis for who's the incumbent and anti-incumbents. Every factor is being considered. And finally, CBI gets custody of Shah Jahan Sheikh. Let's move to West Bengal now. And Sandesh Kali, how can that be, that can stay away from the news? And finally, it's now CBI is being questioned out here. CID is now being questioned as the suspended Trinamool Congress strongman Shah Jahan Sheikh on Wednesday was handed over to the CBI by West Bengal's Criminal Investigation Department after the state did not get any relief from the Supreme Court. He underwent medical tests before the handover. So they were delaying this handover as well. They were not handing him over to CBI. The Calcutta High Court, for the second successive day on Wednesday, had directed the state to transfer a case on attack on Enforcement Directorate officials at Sandesh Khali to the CBI and hand over custody of Sheikh to central agency. The West Bengal government had approached the Supreme Court bench led by Justice Sanjeev Khanna to list the matter, but the latter asked the state to mention it before the Supreme Court Registrar General, after which the CGI would take the call. But Bengal's counsel Abhishek Manu Singhvi could not mention the matter before the CGI bench as he was hearing a different case. The High Court, in its order to March 5th, directed the CID to hand over Sheikh to the CBI on Tuesday. As the CID failed to do so, the CBI went to High Court on Wednesday. The High Court then ordered the CID to hand over Sheikh to the CBI by 4:30 p.m. While passing the order, the division bench emphasized the need for fair and unbiased investigation. Indeed, so that is not being done, and you can imagine, despite it's not about the attack on ED only, there are other cases also, cases of rape, molestation, land grabbing, money laundering. These are the cases against this man, and the state government is trying to defend him. The bodies, are also trying to defend him. The government bodies, the state government bodies, the investigation department is trying to defend this man. That's what a shame that is on the state government. And Telangana state, help Telangana Congress make Rahul the PM, Revant Reddy to voters. Chief Minister Revant Reddy on Wednesday said Congress would rule in Telangana for next 10 years. Kicking off the party's election campaign from Mehboob Nagar, the TPCC president urged people to ensure that the Congress wins at least 14 Lok Sabha seats. And about the drought that I was talking about, what he had to say, we shall overcome drought-like situation together, assuring farmers that the government would stand by them no matter what. Chief Minister Revant Reddy on Wednesday said that the administration is preparing to tackle the drought-like situation in parts of state. There is drought-like situation in the state, and we will face it together. Due to lack of proper rainfall for a year, the water in the reservoirs is getting low. Hence, the situation is getting serious, the Chief Minister said. And IT firms told to depute marshals to manage traffic during peak hours. This has been happening since past 4 years. I've been witnessing, I would like to mention her name also, Christina from Dell. She has been doing an awesome job. Even before Corona was there, she used to be one of the marshals. She used to wear those jackets and actually administer traffic in high-tech city. And I've seen that every day, couple of hours she would spend there very diligently. And Christina Castellino is her name. So kudos, hats off to her. And to address the traffic situation in Cyberabad, all IT parks in the area have been asked to depute a few security marshals during the peak traffic hours. This was discussed at a meeting held by Commissioner of Police Avinash Mohanty and the Society for Cyberabad Security Council with the CEOs of approximately 30 IT firms, with more companies returning to completely work from office setup. The traffic situation in IT corridor needs urgent intervention, and rightly so. During the peak hours it becomes very difficult to commute through, and that is where these marshals come into effect, and they are really very, very diligent and dedicated, and they handle it really well. And Naidu likely to visit New Delhi today, finalize alliance with BJP and no tiger safari in core areas of Jim Corbett National Park, says Supreme Court. And with that, people, moving on to the Times of India. What do we have here? Telangana reservoirs drying up, brace for drought, says the Chief Minister. Whether drought or any other problem, government will stand by the farmers. Due to deficit rainfall, water levels have depleted in all reservoirs, because of which water scarcity is becoming severe, says Revant Reddy. Urges farmers to understand the situation. Chief Minister A. Revanth Reddy on Wednesday said state is starting at a drought-like condition with water levels depleting in all reservoirs, and called upon farmers to understand the situation and extend their cooperation to government to collectively face and overcome the problem. Whether drought or any other bigger problem, the government will extend all support to the farmers. Due to deficit rainfall, the water levels have depleted in all reservoirs, because of which water scarcity is becoming severe in all areas, he said. While launching Raitu Nestam program via video conference on Thursday, the farmers of Karimnagar, Khammam, Nalagonda, Mehboob-nagar, among others, have been demanding release of water from reservoirs. I am urging the farmers to understand the situation. The state government is trying to ensure that there is no drinking water scarcity in the ensuing summer, the CM added. And also, CBI finally gets Shah Jahan custody after second High Court order. Houthi attack on ship kills 2. So yet again, the Red Sea is living to its name, and thanks to the Houthis, the terrorist group, and they have killed 2 people on a ship, and Indian Navy has joined the rescue, and there was a missile attack that was done and it killed 2 men out there. And BJP and BJD at the verge of sealing alliance for polls, and BJP worker hacked to death by Maoists. Bangalore water crisis at Deputy CM's doorstep. So both the states are actually facing challenges, and PM takes underwater metro ride. Cases of COVID spiking in Delhi, Rajasthan and UP on one hand. In Telangana, we are seeing, a lot of offices, people are starting to go to office again. On the other hand, the news comes that Amitabh Bhattacharya has reported that the COVID-19 cases are spiking up in Delhi, Rajasthan and UP. And ex-minister and DFO must pay for tree felling in Corbett. So court allows tiger safaris in buffer zones but prohibits putting zoo-bred animals in there. So again, the trees were being cut. That's what tree felling was being done, and 6,000 trees were chopped. They wanted to build more infrastructure out there for the safari. And stage set for Biden versus Trump. Haley drops out. So big news coming in from the United States of America. Nikki Haley has dropped out, and it will be Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, this time people in the USA. And with that, people, I would like to call it a day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay with us, and please do not forget to hit the like, share and subscribe button. Vijay Rana signing off. Jai Hind.